Yes, people, welcome to the show and welcome to the end of the show. Where
Oh wait, so it's not the end of the show. It's not the
no, it's not the end of the show. It's not the end of the show. It's not the end of the show. But listen, people, we're breaking you the best of the rest show earlier than normal, but we're here. Some of these are 3-point collectors, some are not. I see Lee's busted and got his internet. Have you noticed today? His internet's fine today. It's well. It's fresh. You know what I'm saying? When they're winning and when United's in the mud, it's fresh.
No hoodie today. Okay. No hoodie today. Look, he's rapping as well.
Listen.
Say less. But listen, people, best of the rest show today. We got man like Monts in the building. Monts, 3-point collectors. What are you saying, bro?
Don't worry. I know at halftime they were ready to call me. I was ready. The shots are ready. I know you don't watching at 12:30. I know you were waiting. You were waiting. But listen, never count us out. That's 4 wins on the bounce. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling with these man and City and Daps and them man. You man over there, stay away from me. I don't want that losers virus, that losers variant. Just keep it away from me, please. Come on.
I hear you. Listen. Don't worry. The glow up. I see the Liverpool glow up. I see it. All right, say no more. And then we got White Yardy. I know this is the real White Yardy, but he says, yes, people, welcome to Arsenal Clickbait TV. This guy, I'm putting out genuine questions for Arsenal. I want you to do well this season. I want you to actually win the league. So don't worry, White Yardy, man. Whenever you're ready, come on the platform. We can discuss if I'm actually clickbaiting about your fan base, because I don't think you're playing great football, but we'll get into it. Big up White Yardy as always. Lee, 3-point collectors. Dogged win. For 3 points.
Listen. I don't want no introduction. I want to get straight into it. So let's move on to the next person so we can start. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. All right, then, Lewis. Unite. We unite together. Mud Brothers. What are we saying, Lewis? The Mud Brothers.
Is that her? He's not even locked in.
We have to stay together. This is hard times right now, but we must stay together.
How we still on top off you guys? I can't be fucked. This was meant to be the day we finished above you guys. Yeah, big up. Good to be here and all of that. Up the choice.
Yeah, man.
Big up.
All of that. Now, Lewis, more energy. No, more energy.
Boy.
I'm replicating the energy those bastards showed on the pitch today. So.
Boy. If I speak, listen, I'm gonna speak, but if I speak, boy.
Where do you want to start now, Louis? Go on, you're busting a go.
I think we need to start. I think we need to start with my illustrious host. The host with the most, the guy that has all the talk, all the vim, the guy that has been, bigging himself up, talking a big game about his team, about his club, about his manager. The manager is the person who I'm going to start with the most, because this guy is horrible. I told you at the start of the season. Remember, it was myself. It was who else was it? It was I can't remember who it was, and we was talking about Man United, and you were talking about my manager saying, because I remember very clearly mentioning that, I think that Arteta is going to learn from his mistakes, he'll get better. And I said, look, I don't trust Ten Hag. I don't think he's the guy. And listen, it's coming to fruition. This guy, the way he's handled the Sancho thing, horrible, absolutely horrible. The whole thing, it's on.
Why is it horrible?
His head.
Why is it horrible?
Because listen, I haven't really spoken about it too tough, because really and truly, it's not my club, so I don't have to care too much. But ultimately, my thing is, he should have never ever called out somebody. Now, my thing is, I just stand on something different. It's almost like, I gave the reference of, at parents' evening, if your kid's in trouble, as a parent, you don't want to do that stuff in public. Go home and discipline your child, tell them off, ground them, do whatever. You never ever, in relationships, if you see people arguing in front of family, you don't do that. Wait until you go home, then you have your disagreement. You never throw somebody under the bus or bring your stuff out in public. Please never ever compare your manager to my manager. And I spoke about the fact that with your manager, the reason why he gets a lot more flack is because no matter what you want to say about Arteta, the money he spent, He's a novice. He's been a manager for 4 years. Your guy has been winning leagues. He's been under Pep. He's been in Holland. He's been doing all of these things. Now he's come to Man United, and he's the one that said era's come to an end, unprovoked, unsolicited. He didn't have to say this. He didn't have to. And this is my point again with him. He says things, and then he doesn't know how to back it up. And that's my problem with him. He keeps doing these things over and over again. And then we get to the fact that you brought him in. You brought him in to play good football. But he plays worse football than Oli. And like physically worse football than Oli. And he's spending more money. And he's getting the players he wants in. And yes, granted, he's had to deal with a lot. But some of these things you have to put on his head. A lot of them you have to put on his head. The fact that he brought off Hoyland yesterday. The fact that he's, not improved certain players, the fact that you the one that keep bigging up the butcher. Listen, I only see one person getting sliced up, and that's him himself. I only see someone off in panty. This guy's doing more open legs than any girl and OnlyFans that I've ever seen on Twitter and all of these things, because the way that he gets chopped up is nasty. It's absolutely nasty. Onana, can we talk about the lack of saves? Can we talk about those saves or the lack of them? Because 2 of them were spooky yesterday, and you should be alarmed. Now,
the third one was only one. Let's be honest.
Now, I also want to talk about the fact that I saw today my illustrious host at 3:33 today. You tweeted something. Chelsea's attack is painful to watch. You said Chelsea's attack is painful to watch, but no. I don't want you to talk about. Listen.
We're meant to be working together.
Do not throw stones in a glass house. You have no right to talk on it because your attack is as blunt as anything. You had to wait until your 21-year-old youth player came on, slapped in a goal, and celebrated like he won the World Cup. And you've got your old players dumping in your own ground. Your club's embarrassing. Your club is absolutely embarrassing. Now, I also want to talk about the fact that can we just remember your manager was the person that lost 7-0. 7. Like the more I think about it, right? I know it's a madness, but I can't actually understand how you lost 7-0 and expect this guy to do anything well. Then
combination.
It's got a list, It's got a list.
My last point is
combination.
Records, the records that this guy has broken. The records that this guy has broken. He has been the first manager to lose 3 of his first 5 opening games in Premier League history. Eric Ten Hag, ETH. He's also been the first manager to lose to Brighton at home. Eric Ten Hag. Can we talk about the fact that no Man United managers ever lost at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Eric Ten Hag. You hadn't lost your 2 opening away games since 1973, 1974. Eric Ten Hag. I can go on. Your manager is horrible. He's like physically. I want you to understand. Your manager isn't good. There's nothing that he's doing.
No, hold on a minute.
It's not Eric Ten Hag.
It's season done, by the way. It's a season done. It's a season done. It's a season done.
It's not, because it's great that you said that, because it's 5 games and it can only get worse because you're in 14th.
No, it can't.
You're below. No, it can.
I mean, there's 2 ways you can look at it. It can get worse.
Are they below us?
You're below. I believe you're below.
No, we're above you. We're above you.
Okay, so you're 13th. You're 13th, right? You've got 5 points, I believe, or 4 points, whatever it is. Saeed, this isn't a joke. You yourself, I actually had to go back this morning and see the stream you did. It was 7-0. Saeed, this isn't a joke no more. You cannot keep repping this guy. It must stop.
No. Listen, hold on a minute. It's not about repping the guy. It's about a manager who, again, like I said, you're the proof. Proof's in the pudding with Arteta. You lot were saying, "Oh, sack the manager, this and that." And what did he do? He turned it around. So end of the day, go on.
But you see, the problem is when you compare to Arteta in that same period of time when Arsenal fans were saying Arteta up, we had spent 80 million. We had spent 80 million. You have spent 400 million pounds.
So it doesn't justify Arsenal finishing 8th, though. Does it still?
No, it doesn't. But my point is that you are now accelerating how well you should be doing. You yourself know you shouldn't be losing. You shouldn't be losing the games you're losing and the way you lose. And that's my point. Saeed, my thing is you can lose games. You can lose against Arsenal. Everybody loses against Arsenal at some point, home or away. You can, other than Man City, you can lose against Brighton. They're a great team, but there's a way to lose. And the way you're losing, you're going out with a whimper. You're getting moved to by Brighton. You're getting moved to by Arsenal. Counter attack.
No, don't do that. We didn't get moved to by Arsenal. You just found a way to win at the end. You didn't get moved. It wasn't an excellent performance.
Okay, the best 2 games you played this season were both against Arsenal.
I don't think we played well this season.
One in the summer, and in your opinion, one when we played you last or 2 weeks ago. My point is that there's a way to lose. If God forbid, for the likes of Liverpool, if they had lost yesterday, there's a way to lose. They could have lost, but go out of a whimper because they battered Wolves second half, especially. But you're just getting moved to first half. You're getting moved to second half. You're getting moved to everything. The subs, they're not making sense. You're spending money and you're getting worse. It don't make sense. It's almost like, how can I get older and become more immature? And that is what Eric Ten Hag is doing. It is bad. It is bad.
Wow, that's a good analogy. Listen, you know what? It's good to see that Lee stops waffling now and he actually speaks some sense. I do see some sense in what you're saying. I don't think the manager's done. I don't think I think it's too reactionary to say the manager's done. A manager is allowed to struggle. A manager is allowed to get things right, and this is a bit of a period where the manager now has to reflect. But this idea that this manager is done and this manager, is done worse than other managers before, like Arteta. When listen, like I said to you. The CV last season is finished 3rd and he won a trophy. This season, we expect a little bit better, expect to brand the football better, and we expect to see some trophies as well.
Okay,
so I don't think we're going to get to that levels of where you were, maybe, but I'm hoping, like I said to you, Manchester United have to improve. I do agree with you. It's poor. It's not good. The style of play isn't great.
That's my thing. That's my thing. Every Man United fan, when they got Eric Ten Hag, I think every person in the chat, I can't see the chat, I don't watch the chat, but every Man United fan was happy. Yeah. The reason why is because you thought the brand of football. So yes, you didn't think, oh, okay, yeah, look, he said Eric has come to an end. Whatever. Okay, fine. Look, he's bigging up his fans. Good on him. But it was the brand of football that you believed. His football is horrible. I don't want you to talk about Arsenal and boring, and I don't talk about my club, because your football club play. No. Saeed, your football club.
We will later on.
Your football club play exactly like Stoke and Burnley used to do back in the day. There's no difference. It's who football. It's who football. There's no patterns of play. It's just lump it up there and hope that you know what your team reminds me of. When you remember back in the day, Portsmouth, they had Benjani. They hoofed it up to him and he would do a bit of magic.
You're taking the mic,
brother. You don't.
He's waffling now. He's gone back to waffling now. No. It's transition football. That's what it is. It's counter-attacking football. It's not hoof football. It's counter-attacking football. How is it hoof football? It's counter-attacking football. It's playing in the transitions. It's waiting for the counter-attack. It's the counter-press. That's what we're doing. It's not football.
No. Your football club.
It's a lot of counter-attacking football. It's a pacing behind.
Your football is simply get it to Rashford and hope for the best. That is literally it. There's nothing else. Even if you want to go on that premise that it's something to do with counter-attack, it's not that, because you only have an outlet of one player who is Rashford. Now, even the fact that you're missing certain players, Mount, he's shit. Anthony, he's crap. So it's not even to say like, oh, you're waiting for these players to come.
I want a receipt,
please. It needs.
Sorry, no refunds.
Saeed, it needs to stop now. Okay, I'm gonna even give the butcher, because he's come back from an injury. Okay, fine. Lisandro Martinez, I'll give you a bit of time. Okay, I'm gonna run jokes of him, but I can still understand this. But you cannot sit here and tell me that the way you're playing is what you thought.
I agree.
And that's my point. This guy is a manager who has been managing for years. This shouldn't be taking 2, 3, 4 years. This isn't phases. This isn't you don't want to do this whole Arsenal thing.
It isn't phases.
So step up. There's no step up. No, because you don't want to do that. You don't believe in that, right? So unless you're going to say this is a project, please, you need to stop. You need to stop this now. It must stop. It must stop. You need to give yourself you need to give your head a wobble, because it's only it don't think it can get better, because you can't go into this game next against Burnley thinking you're going to win, because it isn't a guarantee.
No, I agree with that one. Now, you know what? Listen, banter aside, I get it. You had your list. You know what I mean? Most of it was a bit, you know what I mean? It was a bit too reactionary, but some of it was true. And I understand it. Manchester United right now, at this minute right now, isn't good enough. I don't know when the next win's coming from. And ultimately, there's a lot of players that are still not good enough for me. I think a lot of players last season, they got goals, but I don't think for me, their overall game is still good. I think it's a bit selfish for me. Rashford needs to do better to become a team player. Defensively, I think for me, there's naiveties at the back. And ultimately, the midfield balance isn't great still. There's a couple of players missing, but I don't think it should be an excuse. United at this minute are poor, and I am worried. A season could turn very, very ugly. So I do agree with most of your points there. I don't agree with the fact that Ten Hag is what you call it, naive to think otherwise. I don't think Ten Hag will get the season to what it is becoming. I think he will have a plan, and let's see what he can do with it. But ultimately, it's not looking good right now. I'm not going to address it anymore. I'm not going to play it down as well. I'm not just going to be like, you know what, Lee's waffling. No, there are some truth to what he's saying. It is bad at the minute, and any United fan that doesn't think it's bad, then you need to understand that it is, man. But I mean, Mons, what's your shade on this one? You know what I mean? Are you gonna come with the energy, or are you gonna? What are you gonna do?
You know what? Do you know what it is? Obviously, I let Goodally do the cooking because I know he's been waiting a while for this. I know he just needed it.
Wait, he's forgot a list, man. Yeah, the list.
Yeah, no, I know. Listen, he needed at least. Do you know what it is? He couldn't do it game week 1 and 2 in case it was too early in it. Like he needed to wait. He needed a bigger backlog. Now he's got the backlog. Listen, as a Liverpool fan, long may it continue. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep you man in the mud. This bum that you have in charge decided to say all eras come to an end. Well, I mean, I guess we're seeing how that's going. Do you know
why did he say that, man? I still don't get why he said that.
No, because he said it about City. They went and won the treble, obviously, and they also said about Liverpool. We seem to be on the way back up. So clearly, what he said doesn't really come to fruition. My thing with Manchester United is that there is nothing positive about your club right now. Did you know? You have more club statements than victories than away victories against the top 9.
Yeah.
Did you know that? There is more club statements than victories against teams.
I don't know if it's true, but apparently
let him finish, man. Man.
They got 1 point out of 42 away from home. 1 point away out of 42.
That's rough.
Listen,
is that true? Saeed, you got 1 point. Man. 1 point out of 42. Please.
Let me land. So
Lee's on it today. He's on it. He's on the smoke.
I'm just saying, like right now, it doesn't look good. There's nothing positive to say. Like the backline's not backlining anymore. At least at one point you could say, you know what, we've got Varane and Martinez, and they've been, Varane, Martinez, Casemiro. You got your holy trinity to at least keep things solid. So if you man have a crap game, which you so often have, those 3 will get you out of danger, and Rashford will get you a goal. I always said when Rashford's goals dry up, Manchester United dry up, and then from then on it's draws. It's Manchester United. It's draws and losses. But if you look at Manchester United, to say Manchester United have been abysmal is a myth. Let's just to allow them for 1 second, because they were on 9 straight home wins in the Premier League. 9 straight home wins in the Premier League. The last time they lost points, I believe, was Southampton with the red card.
Yeah, Southampton. Red card.
So Manchester United's home record has remained, I'm not going to lie, scintillating to say the least. It's very, very good. It's just that the away record's so bad, it just balances it out. And I'm looking at the changes. I'm looking at what's going on in-house. With what's going on in Manchester United, the reason why I believe Ten Hag is also in the wrong, notice how I say also in the wrong. Sancho is in the wrong. But Ten Hag is also in the wrong because, like Gunali said, you should have just kept it in-house. Because there's too much going on at the club at the moment. If everything was rosy and you lot are second in the league and you're on 4 straight wins, then at the end of the day, you can call out a player because then he's not reaching the standards. Punish him, but don't make it a whole thing because it's taken away the attention that your front line is bland. There's no season.
Reckon he used that as a deflection? Did you reckon he used it as deflection for the pressure? Maybe use Sancho as a bait, and then do you reckon he did that? Obviously, I don't know in it. I think for me there must have been something going on, but when you actually deep it, like obviously now there's no Sancho to blame now. There's no one blaming anyone.
This is
in that regard.
I'm looking, but the thing is, bro, I'm looking at the midfield and the attack. And you guys could have done with Sancho in the Arsenal game, and you probably could have done with Sancho in the game against Brighton as well. Even though I think Brighton did outplay you guys, I think you needed just better decision making going forward. Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about the Sancho thing too much, because I feel like that's boring now. I've been watching your shows, I've been over 100 times, innit? But the fact is, Ten Hag needs every attacking. You lot don't have options when it comes to attack. You might not exactly spoiled for choice. Do you know what I'm saying? I know you're missing Anthony, but he ain't offering too much. I really do like Højlund. I'm not going to lie. I really do like him as a player. He looks really good. But Rashford right now, again, very wasteful. He'll get you your goal, but still very wasteful. You know what I'm saying? Palestri looks too young to be coming into the team and pulling up any trees. Garnacho is raw, just another word for shit, but he's still okay. He's good, but his best position's off the left where Rashford plays. So that's another problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Sancho, as good as he is technically, he's not doing well enough at Manchester United, and we don't know where across the front line his best position is. So that's another problem. There's too many problems going on in the front line. Amrabat, we don't know what's going on with his fitness. Bruno Fernandes, again, we're just praying Bruno ball. And I keep saying it, as long as Bruno is your talisman, you lot don't go above third place. For as long as this man is your talisman,
bro,
you don't
he's
go
the
above
captain. He's the captain. This
he can be the captain. And when he was playing, let's not act like last year, Ten Hag didn't simplify his game and he was balling out, because he was at one point, bro. He was for long periods last season. Bruno Fernandes was doing his thing. He wasn't spamming over the top balls. He was keeping it simple and he was being managed well. He's gone back to Bruno ball now. I don't know what's happened, but he's gone back to just Bruno ball. Over the top, whenever we can, spamming through balls every time, the moment you can. And now, as I said, I've gone through the midfield, the defense, and the attack, and the manager, and the tactics, because, again, 5 performances in the Premier League, none of them have been over a 4 out of 10. Even the ones that you've won. Wolves was the most...
Oh, we could have easily lost everyone.
Yeah,
when you have to deep it.
Wolves was the biggest robbery this season. Biggest robbery.
Yeah.
Biggest robbery this season. And obviously, Nottingham Forest, I think your quality just shone through. But at the same time, you just can't start games like that in the Premier League. And even the new signings, you can't blame Maguire. You can't blame Mount. These men can't be blamed anymore, because Maguire ain't playing week in, week out. For man them to be making him the topic of discussion. And Mount's injured. So man can't blame Mount for being crap, because he's played the opening 2 games and that's it. In fact, how about this? You probably could have done with Mount's legs. For the midfield, the midfield performances I'm seeing, you probably could have done with a Mason Mount. Even as wasteful as
listen.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's how bad it is, mate. That's how bad it is.
It's bad. Yeah, no, I hear you, man.
Under pressure, bro. Guten Tag's under pressure, bro. And
I'm gonna get a couple of super chats. No, I'm actually going to Bayern, so I don't know what's gonna be like. But listen, Gabo starts to say the mighty. Yeah, exactly. The mighty Man United play counter-attacking football against teams in the bottom half. Come on, Lee has a point. D. Will says Arteta's first managing job was Arsenal. Ten Hag is a seasoned manager who's fraudulent and clueless. Please don't believe in him. Banter FC. Adiwale says Aaron Bissaka out for 2 months. Why Ten Hag playing the transition football? Maybe if we keep the ball instead of running back towards our post every 30 seconds, our players might stay fit. But listen, I don't know whether that Wan-Bissaka rumors are true. I need to check into that. I don't know if it's true, because he looked like he was okay yesterday. So I don't know what's happened overnight for him to be out for 4 months. Guys, 2.2K in the building. Let's get 1,000 likes ASAP, man. Big up to everybody watching. There's only 400 likes. That's mad. I can't lie to you guys. So everyone hit the like button, people. But Lewis, man, the Mud Brothers, do you see what's going on at our club, and do you feel any sort of sympathy? You know, what do you say? Like, what do you think is going wrong at Man United? Like, from a neutral point of view, even though your club is so bad, what do you see that's going wrong at Man United?
I think it's you guys' mentality, personally, because I didn't even think you guys started the game that badly. It's just as soon as you can see the first goal, heads down. So it's the same thing as the Arsenal game, where I think your mentality let you down in that game too. And I think that's an underrated weakness when it comes to United. In terms of sympathy, no, I'm just glad somebody's here with me. Otherwise, to just be me on my own getting cooked. So I do appreciate you guys. And I appreciate the Mount transfer, as I let you guys know every week. But yeah, I think if you guys maybe didn't have the goal ruled out for offside or anything, maybe it would have been a different game. I just think the first goal happened and you guys just went from that point. That's from what I noticed. But yeah, long may it continue. I need somebody else here with me.
Oh, you know what it is, though? Let me ask you, like, are we actually deep in? Is Ten Hag like when you look at it right now? Is Ten Hag under real pressure? Like, if the
Yeah.
results don't continue, like, are we actually saying that Ten Hag could face the sack? Like, for me, I just find it mad because I'm like,
How
we
long's
got
his
third
contract?
last season.
Mm.
Sorry,
How long's his contract? How long does he have left?
I think he got a 3-year deal. You know, I think Ten Hag signed. Let me see there. Ten Hag signs all United. I think it was a 3-year deal. I think it was.
Okay, so
Could be
you
wrong.
guys could potentially sack him halfway through that. Might be a bit of a little
Yeah.
payout, but I don't think it'll be anything
Yeah,
too
3-year deal, 3 year.
happened.
It's 1 year into the deal. I personally, for me, yeah, this is where I want a sense of realism from the United fans. I generally think, for me, you can go and get any manager right now in this football club, and they fail. And my United fans don't want to hear that.
No, but see, that's
Yeah,
where I
take
disagree.
ours.
That's where I
Take
disagree.
ours.
I totally disagree. My thing is, you know what? You're right. I'm not sitting here saying that the board aren't to blame. I'm not sitting here saying, because listen, ultimately, some of those players have been there for a few managers. So I'm not sitting there saying they're perfect. But what I'm saying is, Ten Hag is doing things to set. He was almost like creating a own, creating a own a bloody rope for his own neck with some of the things he's doing. As I said, listen, you can lose games. Man United, you can lose games. You're in a period of transition and change. This is a real revolution, not an evolution, it's a revolution. But it's the way you lose. You lose by getting battered against teams where you shouldn't. You shouldn't be going life and death against Wolves. You shouldn't be going life and death against Nottingham Forest for pretty much the whole game where you're 2-0 down. Everyone's going to say, oh, but Arsenal played them in the last 20 minutes. We were struggling. Okay, fine. But ultimately, we won the game. This isn't Man United how they should be playing. You should be going into games more superior. But yesterday, everyone was saying, well, hold on a second. If you can lose the game, you shouldn't be doing that at home. You need to be going into games thinking that there's a real chance of you winning. And right now, you don't. And yes, you're missing players. But the problem is, Saeed, and whether you want to hear me and believe me or not, most of your first team players, they're not good enough. There's still a lot of ambiguity around your keeper, about your left back. There's with Shaw. There's problems with your centre back with Martinez. Some people believe in him, some people don't. Casemiro seems to be unfit right now. Amrabat, is he going to be the answer to all your prayers? No. Anthony, he's horrible. Mount, horrible. Rashford comes and goes. So this is your first team. The way that people talk about Havertz and how he's not good enough, that's one player that Arsenal have. But you have about 6 where there's a lot of
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. That's the problem. A lot of players are playing bad at the same time. You can't have that. You can't have that. Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of players in your team where it's like some people rate them, some people don't. Some people think they're good enough, some people don't. And it's like Ten Hag, as I said, you can compare him to Arteta. You can say that Arsenal when I wanted Arteta. I don't care. The problem is you have a manager who's experienced. You can't keep bringing these excuses of the board, etc., because you should be playing a certain way. And it's so true. It started from last season where you were so happy to win this trophy but play terrible football. It's not good enough. You have to set a basis and ride with that. And now, yesterday, when Liverpool played against Wolves, no matter what you want to say about Klopp, no matter what I want to say about him, the thing I liked about him is he tried the inverted thing with Gomez. It didn't work, but at least he stuck to his principles, and at least he tried it, and then he changed it a bit later on. But Ten Hag, he's just, you know what? With the players I've got, I'm going to try and make it work, and it's not good enough. You need to set your ways in principle. You're a teacher. Every year when you start with your 7s, what do? You start horrible and then you loosen up and you come a bit nicer with them. You don't start nice and then become horrible, because what? The kids will just run over you. And that's what you do.
But let me ask you a question though, guys. Yeah, there has to be a medium of what fans want. Yeah, we could have pretty football, but we finish higher than De Zerbi. We finish higher than certain other managers that play good football, and certain other managers didn't win a trophy. There has to be a medium of good football and trophies. I'm sorry, there has to be a medium. People can say, "Yeah, go get De Zerbi." Don't get it, bro. These men might not win trophies.
Saeed, again, but there's raw. There's just winning raw with no base, and when you do that, there's always what that's called is covering up the cracks.
Thank you very much.
That's
so. What's the time frame then? What's the time frame? You're saying build over time.
Because last season, there's things that you can look at last season. And yes, Ten Hag had you guys playing at home. I always said your home form was very good, and there was times where you guys looked really strong. But there was also things that you have to look at where, for me, your place was a false finish. I also think that third place was nothing to scream about. You tripped over the finish line. There were a lot of questionable.
No, we're better than you. We're better than Chelsea.
Yeah,
we're more consistent with you.
But again, hear me out. There was nothing to shout about being better than Liverpool last season. Nothing to shout about.
What? There was though.
But there wasn't.
Your arrival, we finished above you.
There wasn't.
Simple. There is something to shout about.
We picked up less than 40% of points away from home last season.
But that doesn't matter though. We were better than you last season. Simple as that. It's a fresh season. You've got back now.
You know what it is? You know what Monty's saying though? You know what Monty's saying? Monty's trying to say the way, if you play better football, if you play a better way of football, then over the long term, you would hope and you believe that your style of play will naturally help you to win more trophies. But what you're
it doesn't always mean that though, is it? Doesn't always correlate to that though.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to compare. You're trying to compare a base level of how poor Liverpool were last season and saying, "Oh well, look, I did amazing." But it doesn't matter like that.
Ultimately, no. I'm trying to say that. Mons is trying to allude to that. Yeah, we were poor anyway, so it don't matter. Now we're back to normal. That's where I'm coming into it. Whereas, you know what? No, you have to give United their credit. They were consistent last season and they finished third. Yeah, whether they finished over the line or whatnot, they were consistent and they finished third. This season, now they've got to regress. I actually believe United have regressed. That's a good point to make. United have regressed.
I don't think you've regressed as much as you say. I'm going to be real. Do you know what I really think it is? I think the level of the Premier League has gone up and you lot have stayed the same. You lot have stayed stagnant.
No, we've got worse. We've got worse, I think, for me.
You guys weren't great towards the end of last season.
You got to remember, you have a lot of injuries. So, again, it's not just the play. There's so many things wrong at Manchester United. But at the end of the day, last season, there were things wrong at Manchester United and you were still winning games. Even though you didn't deserve, for me, 60% of your games, you didn't actually deserve to win. Because, again, it was a bad performance. Rashford pops up with a goal. And then you have Casemiro, absolute rock in the middle of the park, saving you. Again, it's individual brilliance. Hold on. It isn't a base and a style of play and a way to grow and to have that base of again, that style to improve game by game. It was individual brilliance getting you through games at home consistently. So again, Rashford's goals and it would either be Martinez or Casemiro performing well individually, and then the rest would be iffy performances. We're talking in terms of great team performances. I can't remember more than 7 or 8 stellar minute 1 to at least minute 80 where I go, "Oh, Man United were amazing." Maybe against Barcelona, maybe in the Europa League, the 3 performances in the Europa League. But in the Prem, for me, it was a lot of smash and grab games. Too many for you to have a base to improve on what you've done already. So now that there's no base, when something drops, the whole building comes, when one brick's removed, i.e. Rashford's goals, the whole thing comes tumbling down. If Casemiro drops form, the whole thing comes tumbling down. It's not something where you take Casemiro out, you put someone else in, and it doesn't matter because the style of play remains the same. So at least now that the style of the play is the same, when someone comes out or someone drops form, the drop-off isn't
It shouldn't be like this. Yeah. I hear you.
That's what I feel
that
like
one he has to fix. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But listen, people, we've had 35 minutes on Manchester United. We want to move on to the fellow mud brother, and that is Chelsea.
I've got some points on
United. People, man.
No, don't go anywhere because I've had therapy now, and this is your time now. Right. Chelsea, bro, let me tell you something. You're toothless. Your bench is rubbish, and Pochettino out trending on Twitter for some reason.
Saeed, can you get up Chelsea's team list today, please? Because there's something I need to. That was crazy what I saw. There's a bunch of guys in there. I don't even know what they're doing. I thought they were part of the cleaning team. I actually don't know what Chelsea are playing at.
Are you talking about the bench? Because 12 injuries does cause that.
I'll be honest. Your bench is horrible. I mean, number 28. I don't know who he is. Cole Palmer. Where's that Don guy?
That's one of the best up-and-coming goalkeepers from the MLS. Jorge
I don't know
Petrovic.
who. Listen. Listen. I
Petrovic.
had an MLS keeper as well. We
Tennis
sold him
player,
to
man.
Nottingham Forest. So I don't know. Listen,
Hey, ours
Ronnie
is clear.
Sutter, Alex Matos, Lucas Bergstrom,
I haven't
Alfie
heard of
Gilchrist,
them.
Davide Washington. Apparently, he's a striker. I thought you was talking about
Hey,
David Washington.
David Washington. That's our striker depth. Big up Washington.
Please,
My
come on,
president,
please.
my
This
real
is-
president.
This is £1 billion. I don't know if these all were bought, but this is a £1 billion team squad. Okay, fair enough. You have 10 players out injured, but this is a £1 billion squad, and I'll have to be honest with you.
We only spent
This is
45
horrible.
million out of that billion on any of those bench players. But
This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, your manager. I don't know, but it is almost like he just said, you know what? I want to get in there. I want to get sacked because I want to pay out. I saw what Potter did. I don't mind. I just want to go and live in Monaco.
that would make a lot of sense, to be honest.
Because
that would make a lot of sense.
I'm sorry. And that David Washington, I don't know, but I thought he was Denzel, and I thought he was, trying to go in Equalizer 3. But the Premier's already finished, so I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
It's a good movie, by the way. Good movie.
Listen, it's spooky times. It is very spooky what I'm seeing out with your team. And again, Sterling not good enough today. I saw Gusto. People were waxing lyrical about him. Really, really poor today. Again, your Jackson.
Gusto was great today. Gusto was great today. He was one of our best players.
Listen, man, I'll be real.
His crossing was a little bit iffy. His crossing was iffy, but he was one of our best players. Everything else is fine.
The reason why I get scary, the reason why I find it scary is because Chelsea fans, you have been winning. You been used to success. You have been used to all of these amazing moments in history, and now you are mudded, having to play these horrible players. And listen, man, I just want to end off with Jackson. Listen, that guy. This is what I tweeted. I said, everybody. This is why I know everybody on Twitter, they follow each other. He is horrible. He does nothing. He offers nothing. He can't hold the ball up. Normally your first touch is okay, a bit dodgy, but his second touch is even worse. Listen, we talk about Lukaku.
I find him hilarious, man. He's funny, man. He's a funny character, man. You know what? Though? He's doing a lot though up front. He doesn't get support. He doesn't get the support that he needs. But I just think, his kind of like.
I'm glad you brought up that point at least. I'm glad you added that to it.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's not getting the support that he needs here. But I just think for me, he hasn't got that natural finishing ability, and I think for Chelsea to be relying on that, you need a finisher, man.
No. Stop this, man. Stop this.
Go through.
I had to sit through preseason. Yeah, I had to sit through preseason and listen to baby Lukaku.
Yeah,
baby Lukaku.
Wow.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hold on. I had to sit through preseason and listen to baby Drogba. Drogba, and hearing how him and Mudryk were gonna cook. But instead, I'm seeing Action Jackson. I'm seeing Jack Swine. I'm seeing.
Hey, to be honest, Mudryk was the only person who tried to link up with him today. Everyone else just left him isolated.
But I'm not doing this whole pessimist, this whole feel sorry, this whole sympathy act. Jackson, the worst thing is why
said that. No one said that. I haven't even had an opportunity to talk on the game.
Towards you. There's not, you know where my anger comes from.
Sorry,
you know where my anger comes from. But listen, this is what it is. That man has the audacity to roll up his shorts like he's prime Alexis Sanchez. Allow me, G. That is so cheeky. Roll down your shorts, big man. Pause. It's not that, bro. It's not that. You see when he sliced the ball off the pitch, I was getting Nunes vibes. I was getting the worst side of Nunes, the worst side of him, by the way. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jackson, he is closer to Lukaku than he is to Drogba. And even Lukaku's got a few 30 bombs in his back pocket. And that's even disrespect on Lukaku. He's got 30 bombs in the bank. Say what you want about Lukaku.
No. Lukaku's got 100 goals in the Prem. We can't do that. He's got 100 goals in the Prem. We can't do that.
He's got like 2-3 seasons where he's got 30 bombs. I'm not trying to, even he's got clout. Jackson for me, yeah. I'm seeing it more and more game on game. He creates chances for himself. He's a nuisance, but guess what? Awoni for Nottingham Forest is a nuisance.
Yeah.
Up the standards.
I just want to know, what is the difference between Lacazette and Jackson? And you know what's annoying me? You know, when you think about the name Jackson, you think about heritage. You think about, you know, fame, Michael Jackson. Like, you know, he's just a disgrace. He's a disgrace. The name of a Jackson. He is horrible. His trade, he is horrible. I don't understand. But listen, listen. These people, I don't know, man. You killed yourself.
Oh, Danny Welbeck yesterday, I can't lie to you, ran the line for Brighton, man. And I was like, yo, Danny Welbeck arrived late in the box. He's got that intelligence. I look at this Jackson guy, and listen, it's not only just him. I think there's so many players in that team now. I think Enzo ghosted today. I don't know what was wrong with Enzo today, Lewis. He ghosted today.
They put him further forward like everyone was asking for.
Thank you.
Again, they've been screaming for this. They've been screaming for Enzo to go further forward, and what happened?
Yeah, Enzo wasn't meant to play because he came back late from international duty.
Came back late. Wait, the same.
That's what the report said about him. He wasn't meant to play, but he was insisting on it.
Okay. McAllister.
Wow.
Played as well.
Do you know what?
Great. It don't make a difference, but if you want context,
the scariest thing. Listen, we can talk about all of these semantics of football. We can talk about all of these tacticos and all of these things. The scariest thing I saw for Chelsea today was Gallagher was your captain. Gallagher, I saw him. I saw him with the armband.
He's proper Chelsea, man.
The guy,
they've got a new one. Mason Mount out, and you get this guy.
The guy.
You see what I said was necessary to get rid of all three and Havertz? Get the idea of this dummy player out of the squad.
I don't understand. I don't understand why this guy's got the. Firstly, he shouldn't be starting. That's the first thing. But then you go to the fact that you
lasted a full 90.
You could have given it to the keeper. You could have given it Sanchez.
Bro.
You could have given it to Thiago. You could have even probably given it to Chilwell because he came on. So you could have given it to what's the guy's name? Colwell. So not Chilwell.
Sterling.
You could have given it to Sterling. You could have given it to Enzo, who's won the World Cup with Argentina. But you decide to give it to Gallagher, who, in truth, the club was trying to get rid of. And then it's almost like Arsenal giving a captain's armband to Reece Nelson or to Nketiah. I mean, It don't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. This guy isn't a leader. I know for sure. For me, if I saw him on the pitch, I'm not listening to him. I don't understand. Honestly, Poch. Now, what I am going to say, I'm not going to sit here shamelessly because I actually thought he was a good manager for you. I thought he would have worked well. He likes young players.
I got catfished as well.
But I'll be honest with you, between you two, look, you two's managers, I don't know. I'm more
Chelsea fans are saying Poch out right now. I've seen it on Twitter today. And Twitter is probably the worst place you can go to. But bro, these Chelsea fans, they're the most. They demand stuff at Chelsea. They don't just settle for process. They don't do all of that.
Bro, this is the easiest run of the season, and he's making it look like we're facing the group of death in the Champions League.
And that's the scary.
And this is on the manager. The manager contradicts himself in nearly every press conference. The guy went from saying no excuses, we must win, to waffling about injuries at full time. It's a 3-hour difference. A 3-hour gap.
Wow.
About, we needed to protect the point. We are playing Bournemouth. They haven't even won this season. And you're talking about,
I want to know because this is
it's a bitch-made Tottenham mentality, man.
This has got.
I don't blame people for being Poch out. All I see is red flags with this guy. I see is red flags.
This is a question for me.
You can't handle Bournemouth, Luton, West Ham away. We have Villa next. Everything after the international break is long. Arsenal, Brentford, Tottenham, Man City, Newcastle, Brighton, United. And he's pulling this.
Villa will beat them.
I need to know, right? Once, who is more at risk in terms of the managers? Eric Ten Hag or Poch? Because I'm going to say Eric Ten Hag.
I think it's Poch. They spend more money than us. Do
you know why it's Poch? Because I try to tell these man, Chelsea are hire and fire FC, and they try to tell me they've changed.
Facts.
All they've done, and Lewis, I know you probably heard me say this 100 times, rather than change their ways, you know what? You guys have changed. You've got worse. You got worse with it. You're spending more money. You're buying more players. You still had, again, since this new hierarchy regime, since Bowley's all come in, you've had 4 men in charge. Yeah. So, again, I don't really know what's changed. If anything, things have amplified. And by this rate, this guy will not make it to January alive.
Well, that's going to be his own fault. That's going to be his own fault. He hasn't got Tuchel's points to save him.
But what Word to you, man. Time, patience.
I would agree if he was getting results. I would agree if there was actual progress. Everything has regressed from pre-season.
Time is despite results, bro. Time is where you got to kind of, as long as you're not like, I was just gonna say,
Time waits for no man, though.
But
time waits for nobody.
Look at Arteta was stinking.
And was we not all saying Arteta out at a certain point?
Yes, of course they were.
But the thing is, the problem is though, Mons. The problem is no matter what you go back, there were people saying, "No, it's just team, it's just squad." So it was 50-50. It was very split. A lot of people were Arteta out. A lot of people, and that's what Arsenal had. We had a fan base which was never united. Now the team's united. The whole fan base is united. Other than some people are 50-50 with Havertz. Other than that, we're all united. But the problem is that you don't have a board that will stand the test of time and keep the manager, because you've already shown with Potter, if it gets sticky, you're gonna get rid of him. Now the problem that you probably, and even though I did say I think Erik ten Hag's in more trouble, the fact that he's won something, the fact that he's won something will hold him in some regard. It will. Whereas with you guys, it's almost like he genuinely is just a bit like, it almost is like he's saying everything to get
trained already.
Yeah, like he's saying.
Yeah. Bro, didn't he not at PSG? At PSG, did Poch not win the league for one of the seasons? Let me know.
The second season.
Right. I said, and people were like, when I said you don't need to understand, Poch is good at developing a team, but when it comes to managing a top team, and no disrespect to Spurs, when he took over, are not a top team. They're not top 3 in the league. Do you know what I'm saying? The history doesn't date back to top 3 in the league. Do you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to there's a difference between managing Tottenham, managing PSG, and managing Chelsea, bro. Chelsea are a top team that demand results. You know what I'm saying? PSG, you don't win that champs, you're done. The minimum is the league. You know what I'm saying?
Who did you lose it to in the first season?
There's a difference between that and managing
Lille.
Do you know what I'm saying?
They had a good season, to be fair. They had a good season, to be fair.
I don't care. Your man was 34. I don't give a toss. Your man was 34. I don't care. You had Messi and them, man, bro. I don't give a dash. Well, not so much Messi. I think Messi come the year after, but you know what I mean. You still had Neymar and Mbappe and all that. Yeah. So when you have to manage these top teams, the expectation is different. And I'm sorry, you won the league once with PSG or twice or whatever, but that is not good enough. It's not good enough to then come to Chelsea and run that same mentality. You lost the league at PSG, which is a crime in itself. And at Spurs, you've done really well, but the pressures are completely different. To me, again, as Mustafa said, struggling with ego, struggling with big names, struggling with big expectation. Unless he's given patience, he's not going to thrive. I'm sorry, not going to thrive.
Well, he needs to start getting some results, because this is pathetic. This is straight up
let me just read out your fixtures. I'm gonna get your fixtures out, yeah?
He's been
right, so there's no excuses for him. He has to get results.
Yeah. You know what's mad, yeah? A big up Zoetech TV says, thank God for Chelsea. Lord knows we are crap and our manager Ten Hag doesn't have a Scooby-Doo, but Chelsea always manage to take the heat off us. You know when you said, Lewis, you know what, you're kind of Pochettino doubt, and you know what, if results don't come in and whatnot. You know, you got now, I'm looking at your fixtures now, yeah, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, there's some tricky fixtures in there, you know. Chelsea have Aston Villa at home. Then you got Brighton at home in the cup. So that's a tough game. If you lose that, that's peak. Fulham away, then Burnley away. Then it's tough after the international break.
Now after the international break, listen to this. Side after the break.
Chelsea and Arsenal. Chelsea and Brentford. Tottenham and Chelsea, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle and Chelsea, Chelsea and Brighton, Man United and Chelsea, and then then it eases off after that, bro. I don't know if he survives.
No faith.
Like,
Arsenal is a very big fixture for him. Fuck that one up and fuck everything up before that, and because we're not even touching top half.
But the thing is, man, he's not winning the games now. So I would say, you know what?
You know what concerns me the most? I've said for the last 4 weeks, the biggest issue is that we can't handle low blocks. Bournemouth did not play that. Bournemouth came out to try and get a performance against us, and we still struggled. We still barely created. We still overplayed things. We still made poor substitute decisions. We looked like an absolute lethargic mess for 90 minutes. Now we don't look good against teams that attack us and teams that defend us. We got lucky because Bournemouth never buried their chances. 3 games against Bournemouth in a row where we've got lucky because they don't take their chances. Villa next week, long. Everything after this looks long. I'm very concerned about Chelsea right now because nothing looks like it's working for us. Even Wimbledon, we made Wimbledon in the League Cup look hard.
Yeah. Bruno says, Mons, that's a lot of talk considering you've just had a golden generation at Liverpool and won one title. Let's touch on Liverpool. You know what? You pissed me off, you know. You pissed me off.
I will say though, and on Lewis though, I do think you do deserve a lot of this because the amount of trolling you do for Mount and Havertz, you deserve this.
The game's the game. It's fine. The game's the game. Like, I know exactly what I'm stepping into. That's why I keep doing it.
Yeah, now the game's the game, but you know what? The game also isn't. What do you call it? You lot, months, man. You man are doing your thing, man. I can't lie. Liverpool title race, man. It's looking good right now. I can't lie.
Hey, don't do that. Don't. Hey.
Bro,
listen.
Come on, man. Title race.
I'll fuck Gunali because Gunali. How does that Gunali's? How about this? Say, why are you even on the top left of the panel? You should actually be where Gunali is right now. I think you should stop Gunali and me.
Bro, don't worry, man. Man's the host.
I hear no lies. I hear no lies.
Just, you know what it is? Like, just separate me from you because we're just so far apart in quality right now. So can I either put me next to Gunali?
Right, I'll put you there. I'll put you there. All right, sit over.
Hey, I'm on the top row. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Because right now, at the end of the day, listen, I'm not gonna ignore. I watched that game. And Wolves are better than us in the first half, innit? Let's have it right.
First half, I get that.
Joe Gomez went back to being Ice Spice again. He did. You know what I'm saying? It weren't working. Then we went 4-4-2 and the subs did their thing and we won the game. But this is the thing that I'm liking about Liverpool right now. Klopp is actually changing formations. He saw it weren't working and he changed to 4-4-2. Are my eyes deceiving me? Is my manager has he stopped being stubborn? Do you see what I'm saying? Now that's 4 wins on the bounce. You know what I'm saying? That's 4 wins on the bounce. Going to the Molineux, listen, you'd expect Liverpool to win, but it still isn't easy. And the way and going 1-0 down and still managing to win the game within the last 7 minutes of the game, again, half of me says you could be papering over the cracks, but we were missing Trent, no Konate, no Van Dijk, no 6. You know what I'm saying? You want to say that the South Americans came back late? Of course, we didn't even start Diaz. You know what I'm saying? So Harvey Elliott balling out. All these things, I'm not going to lie, Mo Salah becoming this creative 5 assists in 5 games, with 2 goals there as well. You know what I'm saying?
Darwin challenge, man.
Looking all right. You know when Darwin's looking good, things are going good. You know what I'm saying? So right now, what can I complain about? All I can say is that congratulations, Lewis, for winning the transfer window. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. It's all I have left. I'm still counting down the days. 17 days since our last Here We Go. Fabrizio, I'm going to keep refreshing until I get it.
How many days have you got left on the transfer window? No, but let me ask you a question,
You need your dopamine. I know you need your signing dopamine. You need that dopamine. I know you need that hit. You know what I'm saying? You need it. But at the end of the day, again, Liverpool Football Club right now, I can't say that we're fully back because I'm still seeing too many. Like, again, you can't start games like how you did. Like, again, if Cunha doesn't miss that sitter, the game's at 2-0 down, it's a completely different game. And it so nearly could have been 2-0. And I think at 1-0, I never really fear us losing games at 1-0 because our attack is just too good. Our attack is that good, isn't it? But it was imperative that we kept Salah. He's balling out. And again, for me, I feel like he didn't have his best game, but he still comes out with 2 assists. The attack scintillating. I think, for me, I'm looking at Liverpool right now, and away from home, we're a bit dodgy, but I'm going to be real. I don't fear anyone apart from Man City and maybe Arsenal at the Emirates. No, I don't fear no one else. I don't fear no one else. I don't, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I fear drawing games. I don't fear really like losing games like that. The Tottenham game's going to be difficult. Brighton and them games will be difficult, bro. But at the end of the day, Man can't hate on my team no more, because when I said, oh, Liverpool are finishing third, no questions, comfortably third, man, they looked at me like I was crazy. They looked at me like, remember, they looked.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
No, they looked at me like I was crazy. Like the man you found to telling me, what? You got no midfield, you got no six. What? Chelsea, you're Chelsea's bitch. What? You're Chelsea's bitch. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Man, they're doing all that. And I said, listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to playing ball, just know Chelsea have more problems than us. United have more problems than us. Arsenal and City are high flying, and we need to close that gap.
Very low
That's
bar,
exactly
to be honest.
what we're doing. 4 wins on the bounce. I'm telling you, man aren't ready for what Liverpool have to bring. If we can carry on, do you know what the worst thing is? This isn't scintillating Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? Again,
I don't think it is.
We started poorly against Bournemouth. We started poorly against Wolves. It wasn't the best performance against Chelsea, and we started poorly against Newcastle. Yet we won 4 out of our 5 games. The only really good performance I've seen from Liverpool, really good performance, I'm talking again 1 minute to at least 80 minutes, where we just battered the team, was Aston Villa at home. Even Bournemouth, we weren't great. Do you see what I'm saying? So to know that we can still win games in Gear 2 is a positive.
I think your next 2 games are so key months. You got West Ham at home and you got Tottenham away. I think for me, they're the key fixtures for Liverpool. And I'm not saying this is going to see where they are. If they win the next 2 games, we have to say
they're going to smash West Ham. They're actually going to move to West Ham because they're at home. They're going to play well. Van Dijk's going to be back. I think the fact that McAllister, he's going to have those days to rest up because he's not going to probably play Europa League. I think Mo Salah at home, no matter what I think about it, he turns up at home. He got basically 2 assists yesterday /3. Obviously, the last goal from I can't remember his name, but yeah, ultimately, listen, you got to give Liverpool some props now. I think the most important game that I've seen, not even the fact that they came up from Newcastle, because that was a freak in my opinion, but the way that they moved to Aston Villa at home, that was nasty. And I think they're going to do some bits at home. I think they've got a very, very good, they've almost a bit like Arsenal in terms of like you can make substitutions and they make a difference for their forward line. I don't think it's as bad defensively. I do think Joe Gomez will have some good games and you'll have some bad games, but ultimately, listen, I got to give Liverpool a lot of ratings, man. I do. I do think Liverpool will lose some games. I do think they'll lose against teams like Spurs. I think they're going to lose against Spurs. I do think they will, because I think yesterday.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they
not.
The thing is, though, I look at Liverpool and I think they are a good team. No, they don't. But I just think when you look at Liverpool, they look actually really good. I think that they have a chance of finishing above Arsenal. Unfortunately, I'll be honest. Hold my hands up.
Wow, the mighty Arsenal.
Listen, I think they're a good team.
You like a phase 5, man. Can't be doing that.
I think they're. Listen, it is what it is. I think they're a very good team. It's not me being a hater. I'm not trying to big up Liverpool to put pressure on them. They're a good team. I think they are, but I really do think that they will lose a few games here and there, because I just think when I saw the game yesterday against Wolves, they could have been 2 or 3 goals down. They could have quite easily in that first half, and I think I don't see Liverpool being meaty, man. I don't. Big shout out to Kyle, but I don't see them being meaty. I think that they will just they're grinding out. And listen, last season Arsenal, we were grinding out wins at that last couple of minutes, and we did it. So I can't now be the same person that's, when we're getting last minute goals or we're, grinding out wins. I can't say that Liverpool aren't a good team for doing that, because that's what teams do. Man City, they had to grind out a win yesterday. They came from 1-0 down and they beat West Ham. Yes, they did it quite convincingly.
I feel like everyone's grinding now. I feel like the mentality is more key than the actual personnel. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Mentality is more key now, and that's what people are making stronger now. Bringing players that have got the mentality, and obviously, just to quickly touch on Arsenal, but they did as well the same. Arsenal, big result for them as well. Listen, man, Arsenal, you know what I mean? They don't play well though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think you play great football though, Arsenal. I don't think it's the same kind of swagger as last season. And people are getting on to me in the comments. I don't think it is, but you're now a bit more mentally kind of like, you would have drew that game last season. Remember Southampton, you drew that game. There was a couple of other games where you drew.
They lost that
like
last season.
Now Arsenal. Yeah. So I feel like for me, yeah, exactly. I mean, you
Look,
man are doing your thing,
the
you
thing I
know.
like
So
about
That's the beauty.
you
Hold on,
know,
that's the beauty of being in gear 1 and gear 2,
yeah.
and then just flicking the switch in the second half and making things happen. Today, Arsenal for me bland in the first half. Second half went up a gear. Everton couldn't deal with it. Do you know what I'm saying? I said the same thing
But can
about
I just
Wolves.
say though, yeah,
Wolves are better than us. Second half, we stepped it up. They couldn't deal with it, and it's about going up. That being able to go up a gear. The scary thing about Man U and Chelsea right now, this is looking like the best it gets for them.
yeah.
It doesn't look like they can be. That's so scary. You know what I'm saying?
Can I just say though as well, like this whole everybody, you know, you keep mentioning that Arsenal boring and this. Listen, it's control. What you want to see is Arsenal being attacked and you know for them to be having chances against us. But we didn't let Everton have nothing. Now, if Man City did that, that's what you would say. Oh, it's boring. You just don't like the fact that Arsenal have control over games and that we're actually very, very dominating in most of our games. Our XG, you know, pretty much outdoes everybody, I think, other than one team this season. Again, I think that was Nottingham Forest. But listen, man, I'll be honest with you. This is a very, very good performance. And it's one where, look, yes, we only got one goal, but I'm never going to sit here and complain. I think Saka, he hasn't even started to hit the touch paper right now. And he's we're still winning games. I think he's been doubled and tripled teamed a lot. And I think he needs to.
and
I think he
now
needs
needs
to
to stop
improve.
now. And Kettia's situation needs to stop
And
as well.
Ketia needs to come out
Jesus
now.
needs to come back in the team.
Yeah,
Jesus needs to
so
come back
much
in.
better. He's so much better. But look, when you've got Saliba at the back, you're half of your problems are just done. I think Raya, he looked very good. And I think what I like,
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good.
coming for the
Yeah.
crosses. He was coming for the crosses, which I liked. We don't have, if we do get counter-attacked, listen, there's one player that I want to mention, Declan Rice. Snuffs out everything. That he wins the ball back so well that he, with his winning the ball back, it gives us a counter-attack, 5 against 2, 4 against 2. He's so good. So I think with a lot of our kind of with a lot of our players, we're just doing well. Like Havertz, people are going to say what they want about him, but he didn't start today. And the manager, as I said, he's not this favorites thing. He's playing players that are doing well in training, and he's going to make a difference. We can't keep saying, as an Arsenal fan, I can't keep saying I want to make rotation, I want to make subs, and then he doesn't do it because that will be going against what I'm asking for. Everybody knows we need to rotate. So listen, man. Everton are crap, so I'm not going to take too much away from it because Everton aren't a good team. But listen, man, it was a very, 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 very good performance, a very, very mature and calm performance, and we move to the next.
It must be nice to see a team break down the low block. Must be
listen,
nice.
Yeah,
it's not easy, man. It's not easy. You just got to have some good players and a good manager.
I know. We'll get there.
Listen, we're in the mud, and we'll see, man. Like I said, I'm going buying away on Wednesday, and yeah, listen. Anyone who's playing Champions League football, who's it? Lee, what are you saying? Yeah, man.
Listen, man. Tuesday we got Wednesday. I think we've got PSV, so we should win.
PSV. Oh, I got buying. You know what, Lewis, you're chill.
I've got 2 Champions League games at home this week. So
okay. Once you've got Lask, is it? Yeah. Lask in the Europa League. Yeah.
You know how cheeky that is. Again, I have more Champions Leagues than this whole panel. I have more than this whole panel combined.
Bro, History FC.
No. 019. No. My last one came in 019. Your one came in 2008. So again, 16 years and counting. I'm gonna need something.
We don't care.
Hey, 5 European trophies the last 10 years.
You see me?
What's the Liga?
Aye. Calma.
Yeah, he's gone. He can't answer. Lee's out of the question, man. He's just happy to take part, Lee. He's happy to take part.
Yalla Habibi. Come on, yalla.
Yeah. But listen, guys, man, we're gonna wrap it up. We need 1,000 likes though before we wrap it up, man. Please, guys. We've had over 2,000 people throughout the whole video in here, and we're on 861. Guys, by the time I go around shouting everyone's channels out, I will need 1,000 likes. So please do that. Lewis, my guy, bro. I'll catch you soon, man.
Yeah, big up, guys. I'm gonna go lie down in a dark room for a couple of hours, and yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Where's the review? No live review today.
Chelsea. We just put down the whole watch along, but there's one out on Chelsea Fan TV if everyone wants to watch me vent for 10 minutes.
There you go. I need that. I need that, people. Months, you're live
By the
after
way,
this. People.
Listen, yeah, people,
Yeah.
stay on. I'm about to go live on my channel. About to go. Corey is finished.
Yeah.
He is
Shit.
done out here.
Pray for Corey.
Yeah, so yeah, if you want to see a real cooking as well, some more stirring of the pot. You know what I'm saying? Listen, stay on here. Make sure you smash the like button, get this to 1,000 likes. Stay on here, and it will take you over to me when we head over to BSP. We're gonna go mad. We're gonna go crazy. So yeah, man.
Really, I can't lie today. You did your thing today. There was no waffling today. I think you did your well. Yeah, my love, bro. Love months.
Listen,
Lee,
man.
you did your thing today. I can't lie.
Listen,
Big
man,
up, man.
I had to set the truth free, man. But you know what? When your team's doing good, life's good, man. Everything's nice. So, let's continue this way. We've got PSV. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. I ain't been in the Champions League for about 7-8 years now, so I'm a bit nervous, man. I'm a bit nervous. So let's see, man. Next game we move, man, and then we've got who have we got after that? Oh yeah, we've got Spurs. So I think it should be 2 wins in a row this week.
Big week, man. Are you doing any previews on that? What's going on? You got previews?
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm coming. Listen, life, man. Life is killing me hard, man. Life is killing me hard. So yeah, it's hard. But yeah, listen, I'm here. I'm coming. But subscribe, man.
Yeah,
subscribe
man.
to everybody's channels, man, for sure.
Yeah, everyone's channels, links in the description. I'm literally 6 away from 72,000. So make sure you're following that, people. And yeah, man, I'll be back tomorrow, midday, Lee Gunner. Who else is there? Goonie Therapy, Savo, and also LB Man fan. So make sure you do that, people. And I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.